Bob Ryland was born June 16, 1920, after his parents, like many persecuted families, fled the racial horrors of the South.
My father moved to Chicago. See, he was white, and we was going to lynch him because he married my mother, was black.
Bob was later sent to live with his grandmother back in the Jim Crow South.
Jim Crow was a racial hierarchy with whites at the top and blacks at the bottom.
Bob's grandmother gave him the structure and support he needed to develop and survive in such a horrific time.
The racism in Mobile wasn't just institutionalized, it was brutal.
One place Bob took sanctuary was at the blacks-only Brooklyn Park, where he developed his passion for tennis. Here, he would also meet the great Jackie Robinson, before either of them would go on to smash color barriers and change history. Soon after, Bob returned to Chicago to live with his father, who took him to Prairie Tennis Club, the first private grounds for a black tennis club in the United States. Bob started playing ATA tournaments, which featured some of the greatest young players to ever swing a racket, including Althea Gibson and Arthur Ashe.
The ATA was founded because black players couldn't play USLTA tournaments. They started their own.
Bob would go on to win multiple ATA championships and earn praise from his peers. In high school, Bob continued his upward trajectory. He placed second in the Illinois State High School Tournament in 1937 and 38, the first African American to achieve such a feat. Bob's accomplishments earned him a scholarship at Xavier University of Louisiana, where he played 1 year with notable teammate Jimmy McDaniel. In 1942, Bob joined the Army during World War II and served 2.5 years stateside in a segregated division. During his hitch, he continued competing in ATA tournaments and partnered with Alice Marble, the world's top-ranked female player, in an exhibition at the predominantly black Cosmopolitan Tennis Club in New York. In 1945, Bob was honorably discharged from the Army and offered another college scholarship to play at Wayne State University. Here, he helped break the color barrier as one of 2 black athletes to compete at the NCAA National Championships. In 1947, Bob went to California, where he practiced and competed with Don Budge and many other of the sport's top names. Bob broke another color barrier playing in a tournament at the Los Angeles Tennis Club. It would be many years before another African American would be allowed to compete there, and that player was Arthur Ashe. From 1951 to 1953, Bob played amateur tournaments with many great players, most notably Bobby Riggs. The following year, Bob was offered another college scholarship as a player-coach in Nashville.
Bob was recruited by the president of the university in 1954 to come to Tennessee State and start a tennis team.
1959 would be a breakthrough year for Bob. He became the first African-American man to play professionally when he participated in the World Pro Tennis Championships with Pancho Gonzalez, Fred Perry, and many other legends. Now, pushing 40, Bob joined the USPTA. Bob's experience and certification earned him several prominent teaching positions. In the 60s, he taught alongside Albert Ritzenberg at the prestigious St. Albans Club in Washington, D.C.
It was a club that was designed to be inclusive in terms of race, in terms of religion, and then because the first family, the Kennedys, played there, everybody wanted to be there.
Later, Bob coached for 25 years at the Midtown Tennis Club in New York. As the 1990s rolled in, Bob would leave his coaching imprint on 2 of the most dominant women in tennis history.
In the early 90s, I was the one that actually introduced him to Mr. Williams, and he got a chance to get some video of him working with Venus when she was like 13 years old.
Well into the millennium, Bob was still teaching and playing tournaments, winning multiple senior championships. He finally retired from teaching in 2019 and turned 100 years old. He is featured in the traveling Breaking the Barriers exhibit created by the International Tennis Hall of Fame and has a paver in his honor on the Avenue of Aces at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center.
Bob's legacy is massive. If you think of all of the people that love the legacy of Arthur Ashe, you need to know that that legacy was created because as a little boy, he wanted to be like Bob Ryland. So if there had not been Bob Ryland, perhaps we would not have had Arthur Ashe.
His impact and legacy are cemented in tennis history, and his passion for the game is undeniable.
Do you understand what a big, powerful force you've been in the tennis world?
Just another day.